stage and they're just like, what is she gonna do? Like, does anyone, like, is anyone, what? But once I start doing my thing and start talking, most of the time people seem to laugh and I usually find my groove. But you know, I've had audience members that like are freaked out. Like I had a 7-year-old girl ask me if I was real. Like she thought I was an automatron and she's like, "Are you real?" And I was like, yeah. And she just like ran screaming around the corner. You could hear her voice like straight down the block. I was like, what just happened? This is so beautiful. I love New York. I love this city. My dad likes to compare me to Delia because she's the only character in the Bible that just sort of arrived. You know, there's no like who begot who. I feel like that's pretty much how my life has become. No one really knows where I came from. I just sort of kind of arrived like magic. I was born practically with no face. Everything you see is made by Nati. They didn't think I was going to survive very much longer. They gave me, I think they told my mother I probably wouldn't last for, 3 to 6 months. That's what they were thinking. Because I just had like a gaping hole. It was just like no upper lip, no palate, no nose. The eyes were on opposite sides of my head. And they were very grim about my expectancy to survive. So, but I did have a loud set of lungs, as my mother likes to tell me. I screamed a lot. I had my first major surgery when I was 3 months old, and 5 to 7 every year after that. To kind of rebuild me. The irony, the lovely irony, is that I am allergic to opiates, meaning nordemeral or Vicodin or morphine or any fun stuff like that. So my first memory of like being aware of the outside world is, ow, why is this hurting me? What are you doing? Stop poking me. No, ow. I realized that I have this great ability to sustain pain for long periods of time, and that kind of led one thing to another. And like a lot of people go through their self-destructive phases, and a lot of people like sleep around or do lots of drugs, or I just did crazy shit. Like I just I did suspension because suspension saved my life, and it was kind of like my crack for a while. Only because it provided me with such like insight. And I mean, I went to therapy. Like I did the whole therapy thing, and like it was fine, but I felt like nothing compared to being hung 20 feet in the air, going from side to side when you're suspended and you have nothing but your flesh carrying you up. It's a really romantic and beautiful and horrible thing all at once. I get a weird metallic taste, lemon metallic taste in my mouth, and my everything is like an orange tint. Like it goes orange, like because my body, like seeing as how like my pain threshold isn't like anyone else's. So your body has to like tell you that, hey, something's going on. And the best way that does that is it alters your visual scope by manipulating the light and making you feel like you're seeing orange. Like as if your computer screen had like an orange tint on it. The colors are still there, but it just feels like, because of the manipulation of the wavelengths, it feels like it's orange. So that's how I know that something's up, is is when when it gets all orangey. You know, the irony is that I love OJ. Well, my mother is a very California girl. My mom, she wanted a girl to mimic her. And my mom is ridiculously beautiful. Like, the definition of Mexicanness. She can stop men in their shoes, and I think whatever romantic intuition that made me or kind of plopped me on her door was like, you need to learn some humility. Here you go. And for my mom, it was like, how could you do this to me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? And the rest of my family was like, no, like, she's some kind of gift. And I mean, I don't know if I'm that, but my body is honest. I feel like, especially in this day and age, we have so many veils to so many things that we can hide underneath and hide under, and me, I can't hide from shit. I can't. You can see it and you can feel it, and it looks weird and it looks strange and it's hard to grasp, and you don't know what you're looking at, and I love that. But yeah, it kind of led into the circus world in terms of, like, you know, I look weird and I'm not opposed to looking weird. I actually really like it, and I mean, that goes to the question of, like, whether I feel exploited, you know, like, you know, hey, it gives us a job, and there's no lost honor in providing for oneself, so, and I feel like I'm adding to the history of freak shows. Like, you know, I'm an educated, smart, witty, intelligent freak. Who eventually will get her doctor's degree, so there you go. And curiosity is something that we will never get over. We're always going to be curious about that strange-looking girl walking down the street. Well, you might as well pay me for my story, right? A girl's got to eat, so. Nathan's.